How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Personal Finance Takeover. My name's Sean. This is my co-host Fabian, and we're going to be jumping into dividends in this episode. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. After you guys hit that like button, of course, because that helps us with the YouTube algorithm. So dividends, let's
So
talk about them.
let's talk about them. So do you know what a dividend is?
I think it's when the company pays you out a little piece of their profits, right?
Exactly. So that's probably my most favorite thing about investing is the dividends. So for being an owner of a company, for owning stock in a company, when they have profit that they need to pay out, you actually get a portion of that. So each company decides how much money they want to pay out and how much money they want to reinvest back into the business. And yeah, that's a great way to make some passive income. All you do is buy into a company, buy their stock, hold it, and then either each quarter or each year or whenever the company decides to pay out, you'll get a piece of their profits. So that's probably the best thing about investing and owning some stock. So
Right.
that's like my most favorite thing to look forward is those dividend payouts, and that's when the whole compounding interest comes into play. Because what I do is I reinvest those dividends. So once a company pays out, I set it to where it invests those dividends back into buying more stock. So now my position in that company is slowly growing and growing and growing, and that's where the whole compound interest comes into play. And it's very exciting because at the beginning, it's a couple cents here, so you get a very small fraction of the share. Your position in that company begins to grow. So does the dividend payout. So they start getting even bigger and bigger. So it's like a small little snowball that starts getting bigger as it's rolling down a hill. So very exciting. I love dividends, and the only thing you got to keep in mind is if those stocks are sitting in a taxable brokerage account, the dividends are taxed. But if you have you're investing in a retirement account, whether it's a traditional IRA or whether it's a Roth IRA or a 401k, then those are tax advantage accounts. So you don't really have to worry about taxes right then and there. It's depending on the account type, then either at the time of retirement or for Roth, there is just tax free.
Right. All right. So, like, say, for example, these dividends, they come from stocks. Uh, there's also like the REITs. They pay out, like, was it 90%?
So REITs by law have to pay out 90% of their profit, either each month, each quarter, or every year. So REITs are another of my favorite because I like anything that pays me for doing nothing, for just basically holding their stock. And that's a good point that you brought that one up because REITs also pay out, and they pay out pretty good dividends as well. So, but one thing to keep in mind is that if you own stocks via a mutual fund or a index fund, you still will get paid out those dividends because they're holding a company stock in those funds or portfolios. So you will get paid out. It might not be as frequently. I think some funds wait till the end of the year to pay out. Some of them pay out quarterly or whatever. But yeah, I mean, dividends, I like it. You're making money for doing nothing. So
Right. So when it comes to like dividend investing, you're picking certain things that have a higher like dividend payout. Uh, how is that balanced with your other like index investing and stuff like that? How do you personally balance it in your portfolio?
how do I balance? So the way I approach it is that I look at REITs. Well, when I'm looking at REITs, I just look at companies that have a good track record and tend to pay out dividends on a consistent basis, and they're consistent with their dividend payout. But also I look at like other like ETFs that are set up where they pull a bunch of companies together that have that good track record of paying out dividends, and it's basically a fund of companies that just constantly pay out dividends. So every quarter, for owning that fund, you're getting paid out just for owning it. So that's kind of the way I look at it. And but I do a lot of like index fund, like investing. So I don't do a lot of individual stocks. So for me, I just rely on the funds that are either like heavily like dividend growth stocks or your index funds.
So that's a quick look at dividends. It's an interesting way to have some passive income come in.
And don't forget to dividend reinvest. So
Yeah.
reinvest your dividends.
Automatic dividend reinvesting is awesome because you're just automatically getting more and more of
Exactly.
that.
Automatically, it's compounding. So it's, you just think of it as interest on top of interest. So
Right.
this is compounding interest working for you instead of against you when it comes to these high interest like loans and credit cards and stuff like that. So
all right, so if you guys like dividends, hit that like button. If you guys want more videos from us in the future and get alerted, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you guys know when a new video comes out. And if you guys are doing dividend investing, please let us know down below, and we'd love to know what you're investing in for those dividend payouts. All right, so thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
peace.